I wanted to ask, how much has the national debt increased under Trump's tenure so far?
Right now, debt as a percentage of GDP is roughly where it was when President Trump came into office as it pertains to fiscal year 20,
Can you
right
just
around
say
8%.
how much? Massive tax cuts for the rich, aggressive military spending, and excessive immigration enforcement have all impartially contributed to these high deficits.
We don't think of tax relief for American families as wasteful spending. We think it's their own hard-earned money that we're returning to them so they can invest in their families, their communities, and the individuals in their households.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back. That short clip from the hearing says it all, doesn't it? It shows you exactly what is broken in Washington, D.C. right now. Watching Representative Ilhan Omar try to confront a professional like Russell Vought with those sneaky, scripted questions is a total masterclass in radical left tactics. Ilhan Omar isn't seeking the truth or trying to grasp the budget, she is just setting a verbal trap. She wants that single gotcha clip to hand off to her friends at CNN. It is straight-up political theater. Honestly, I am completely done with Ilhan Omar. I'm tired of the lectures, the arrogance, and the non-stop hits on this country's foundations. I know many of you agree when I say I'm ready for this to end. I'm waiting for the day real accountability finally finds Ilhan Omar. If you think these hearings are just wasting our tax dollars, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let's start the full breakdown.
Thank you, German. Thank you for to my colleague for the shout out to the Progressive Caucus for putting out a budget. I wanted to ask, how much has the national debt increased under Trump's tenure so far?
Right now, debt as a percentage of GDP is roughly where it was when President Trump came into office as it pertains to fiscal year 20,
Can you
right
just
around
say
8%.
how much?
Right now, the national debt is $23 trillion. It's too high. That's why we have a budget here to be able to tackle it by $4.6 trillion in deficit reduction over 10 years.
All right. So it's increased $3 trillion. And your deficit will be more than 60% higher than the year Trump took office. Massive tax cuts for the rich, aggressive military spending, and excessive immigration enforcement have all impartially contributed to these high deficits. And with revenue as share of the economy at historic lows and income inequality at historic highs, I fail to see how you can realistically balance the budget under your current policies. But you're still expecting that high income growth will help pay for these wasteful spending policies. When was the last time that the annual GDP has hit your projected growth rate of 3% or higher per year?
Yeah, in our first year, we were way over our economic growth number when the actuals came in at 2%, and we were significantly underneath that. So we have been out of the last 3 years, which has been closer to our mark than CBO's 2 out of the last 3 years. But I would say we are trying to actually reduce wasteful spending in this budget. We don't think of tax relief for American families as wasteful spending. We think it's their own hard-earned money that we're returning to them so they can invest in their families, their communities, and the individuals in their households.
Yeah, well, we differ in that. It was never during this presidency. Your growth projection is about double the CPO expected during that same time period. However, we know that this administration is not afraid. My colleagues on the other side and this administration will lecture us on the academic principles of fiscal responsibility and austerity by limiting deficit spending, unless it means cutting tax cuts for the rich.
Gemini said, "Now that we've watched that whole 5-minute exchange, it's even worse than I thought. The hypocrisy is just off the charts. From the second she opens her mouth, she's performing for the cameras. She starts by shouting out the Progressive Caucus, basically the socialist wing of the party, and then immediately pivots to attacking the national debt. Notice how Russell Vought, An actual expert tries to give an intelligent answer about debt as a percentage of GDP. That's how real economists look at it. But does she care? Not a bit. She cuts him off mid-sentence because she doesn't want context. She wants a big scary number. She wants to scream about $23 trillion while ignoring that her own Green New Deal and Medicare for all fantasies would cost taxpayers $90 trillion. For her to lecture anyone on fiscal responsibility is a joke. She then reads this pre-written script blaming the deficit on things like tax cuts for the rich. Let's call those what they actually are. The Donald Trump tax cuts allowed American families to keep more of their hard-earned money and gave us the best economy in decades. She calls rebuilding our military aggressive and enforcing our border laws excessive. She is literally listing Donald Trump's biggest wins and calling them problems. This woman is fundamentally against a strong economy, a strong military, and a secure border. And it's not just the performance in this video that's a problem. It's the cloud of suspicion she walks around in every day. I was looking at some posts on X earlier that really back up why so many of us are fed up. Michael Franzese posted something that really hit the nail on the head. He called her out directly, saying she lies at will about the administration and asking the question we're all thinking. How has she become a multi-millionaire on a Congress salary? He also pointed out how she remains unrepentant while her associates are linked to defrauding taxpayers of billions. It's that arrogance he mentions that we saw on full display in this video. She acts like she's a moral authority while refusing to answer for her own shadows. Then you have David J. Harris Jr. pointing out a massive red flag. He mentioned reports that her net worth has skyrocketed by 3,500%. 3,500%. And when she's questioned about it, what does she do? She does exactly what she did in this hearing. She deflects. She called investigations lies and conspiracy theories and told Donald Trump to get his goons out of Minnesota. It's the same defensive, deflective tactic every single time. But the walls might finally be closing in. There's a post from Wall Street Apes mentioning that Donald Trump announced at the World Economic Forum that Ilhan Omar will soon be held accountable. He called her a fake congressperson and brought up that $30 million net worth. He said, "Not going to get away with it much longer." And honestly, I hope he's right because when you watch her treat a patriot like Russell Vought with such disrespect while she herself is dodging questions about how she got so rich so fast, it makes your blood boil. Russell Vought was a total pro. He didn't take the bait. When she tried to act like letting families keep their money was wasteful spending, he shut her down fast. He told her straight up, "We don't think tax relief is wasteful. It's the people's money." That's the core difference right there. In her radical world, all your money belongs to the government first. In our world, that money is yours. She ended the hearing with another dramatic, rehearsed monologue about cruel cuts and struggling citizens. It's all performance. She didn't listen to a single word Russell Vought said because she didn't come to listen. She came to perform for her base and create a clip for social media. It's a disgrace that someone who holds so much contempt for the American system is allowed to sit there and grill people who are actually trying to make it work. We're tired of the double standards. We're tired of the squad acting like they're above the law while they try to tear down anyone who stands for America first. Seeing her fail so woefully to trap Russell Vought was satisfying, but it doesn't change the fact that she's still there using her platform to spread division. The accountability Donald Trump talked about can't come soon enough. We need to get back to a place where Congress is about serving the people, not about socialists trying to get famous on YouTube by harassing public servants. What did you guys think of her attitude? Did you see the same arrogance I did? And what about those reports on her net worth? Do you think the truth is finally coming out in Minnesota? Let me know in the comments. This is a fight for the soul of our country, and we can't let people like Ilhan Omar win by default because we're too tired to speak up. Keep fighting, keep watching, and I'll see you in the next